we are just at a loss of why this man would possibly be intentionally farming WRs.
You can see the aura radiating off of Chris Mills as he walks back to the
Come on, dude, he's earned it, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
What's up, guys? We're back with the Millisecond podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dylan Miller, joined once again by my lovely friend here, Chris Scramble Mills. Mr. Scramble Mills, how are you? How are you doing? You've been on some adventures recently.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It would be good to be back with my real name and not Rescramble Mills, but it is what it is. It's good to be back whatsoever. I noticed that you replaced me very quickly with Luke Greiser. I was gone for a few days and I've already been replaced.
I move on fast.
But it was cool to get an episode out last week, and I was listening to that on my flight home. But yeah, I went to Samoa. I went to the Samoa National Championships, the very first competition in that country. A wonderful, beautiful country. I filmed a lot of stuff, so I'm going to make a video. Really great to see a bit of a community there. I think there was 8 competitors from Samoa, which is pretty decent because it's not a big country. And then after that, we went to Fiji. And
dude, I told Matt to put this in here, dude.
Are we gonna get copyright striked for this?
It's fine. Dude, when you said you were going to Fiji, that clip was the first thing that popped into my head. Anyone who's like of my age, you watch Johnny Test, dude, like I hope you understand the reference. But anywho, continue. What was Fiji like? Because I only know it from this clip of a cartoon and the one.
Fiji was so chill. We were at like a very touristy part of Fiji, like a lot of resorts, a lot of beaches, and the competition was actually at a resort. We weren't staying there because it was quite expensive, and I wanted to stay on the beach as well. But there was like 35 Fiji competitors there, which is crazy. There was one who had competed before, so he like won basically everything apart from the things he didn't compete in. But like a crazy community there, and none of them like knew each other unless they were like siblings or whatever. So
Really?
they all went to the competition, they all made friends, and they were all like sat around a table joking about like it was any competition in any country, you know. I got a 6.7 in finals, and people were still doing it even in Fiji, and it was really good fun going to both these competitions. Sadly, I wasn't able to go to the third one of the series. They went to Tonga after this, which is an even smaller country than Samoa. But big shout out to Ron Van Broekem. We all know him, one of the founders of the WCA. When he went to Tonga, that was the 80th country he had competed in. 80. Man. I've only been to like 20-something countries, and I travel a lot. He's competed in 80. And he flew all the way over from the Netherlands to help organize competitions in these places. He's like made sure there were sponsors to give out cubes. Shout out Moyu. They sponsored these competitions. So it's really hard for these countries to actually get cubes. So I was looking, and it cost like 50 US from the cubicle to ship to Samoa. Like it's pretty hard for them to get speed cubes. But also the 2 competitions I went to, I won every single round. So that was fun.
That's huge.
And like obviously it's a national championship, so like I'm not the national champion, but there was a few other international competitors, and my mate Tyler Williams, and he was like, he's better than me at Scube, so it was looking like I was going to lose those rounds, but I beat him in Scube and I got a clean sweep, so there's just ones. And there was a bit of a meme at Fiji because Tyler got second in everything. So like the local Fijian kids started being like, haha, Tyler Williams, second place. And he kind of became a meme.
That's so good. Also, shout out Ron, senior world record, right?
Yes, yeah. I was judging him in Samoa in 3x3 first round. He was like bombing. He was doing really bad. Like he averages like 13 or something. He's pretty cracked considering. I think he's nearing 60 now. And he was like bombing. He was like messing up PLLs or just like dropping the cube or getting F2L wrong. And he was just he got like a DNF. He got like a 23. And then he got a 7.6 just in the middle of this average. And I was judging him and I saw him do a sledge. and get soon last layer. And I'm like, oh, come on, Ron, lock in. And he did. And it was like a 31 move solution or something. Like it was just like cross F2L, like free pair, sledge a free pair, soon, AUF skip, done. And he got it. I'd never seen Ron like celebrate a solve before, and he was like, whoa! And he started walking around. Sadly, it wasn't on cam, but
Oh man,
no,
yeah.
what a legend of the game, absolute legend of the game. No one does it better than Ron Van Broekem. But yeah, what have you been up to? You've probably had a less eventful week than I have.
Making assumptions here. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, my week has been very uneventful. I will not lie. The most important thing that's happened this week. Last night I got a package from the Cubicle. They're currently I'm working on, maybe a little bit of a leak here. Potentially a Dylan Miller signature cube from the Cubicle.
Ooh.
We're still figuring out what cube it's going to be. Currently, they sent me 2 V11s that row like custom magnetized. They're standard V11s with like his own ball core, and like he did the magnets in the feet himself.
Damn.
So I've been playing around with those, and they've been interesting. But I think what I'm probably gonna settle on is I've been maining the Super Oolong recently, and post All Stars. If you watched the last ep, I said I was gonna try to reprioritize my life. Maybe take a step back from cubing. I haven't done any of that. I think since Nats, I've done like close to 3,500 solves or something, probably somewhere around there.
Goodness.
But I've been cooking, dude. I've been absolutely cooking. I got 527 AO 100, dude. What?
Damn.
Like I'm kind of in peak form right now, so it's like I'm so close that I can't quit. And this is the cycle I've been in for so long. But, yeah. Anywho, custom cubes, Super Oolong, really really good cube. And just good results overall. A1000 is down to like 5.60 now. So yeah, I mean, maybe, I've gotten a few sub NAR averages, sub Matty NAR averages, but that is what it is. That is what it is. But yeah.
No, I was listening to your episode with Greiser, and you were talking about the kind of retiring from speed cubing and kind of what that looks like, but you're like, you want that like final goal or something, right? Like a podium or something where you can be like, yeah, that's it, I've done it. And I kind of like understand that, and like I feel like I've been in a sort of similar boat that like I want to be a national champion or a continental champion or something like that. But what I've settled on is like I want like one last stab at it, like I want to try. Right now I know what I need to do. I need to improve my inspection. I want to learn more. I want to learn like the ZB method. I want to get my turning down. And it's like, if I try and do all this and it still doesn't work, then maybe I stop. But I think that was a really interesting discussion. Like when do you hang up the coat? Like, do you need to hit a goal, or do you just like slowly get slower and slower or improve less and less? Obviously you've now decided you're still quick and you don't want to hang it up yet. And I'm not hanging it up anytime soon. I feel like I've still got a lot of improvement to do. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to bring that up because I wasn't able to share my thoughts last week because you replaced me.
We can keep talking about this for a little bit. I talked to John Epley, Happy Feet member or whatever, at All Stars. I recorded a video talking about like my thoughts on retirement or everything. Showed them, and they were like, "Look, you don't need like this one final achievement. Like, can you just be happy with like maybe your small wins that you didn't view as wins at the time because you were looking for something greater? And are you just happy with like your overall impact on the community? Like, can you walk away and say like, I've contributed something here, and like, is that enough?" And I think something like this podcast, like even if I do kind of take a step back from the whole competing and like trying to really push to get whatever arbitrary goal I'm going for, I think something like this I will still try to do because I love meeting up with you every week and talking about everything and sharing it for the people. So that'll always be something I'm trying to do. Of course, like I'll still be coaching and everything. So yeah, contribution is probably more important than like my actual accolades. I think that's what I've tried to shift my mindset towards.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting you talk about like potentially switching cubes because I don't know what to do with my 3x3s. I don't know what's going on. I feel like the 3x3 market at the moment, there's just like too much going on. Moyu have been like flooding it with like 7 releases a month. And like being in New Zealand, it takes me a while to get these cubes. So like I just got like the new like the 18th anniversary see-through V11 thing, and now the Super Oolong's out. So I'm like, I don't even have the most modern Moyu. So then I've got to get that, and then I got like Luke's RS3M V5. Gan sent me this like V100. I've got like the Gan 16. I've got the V10 that I still like. I've got the normal V11, and I'm like, what do I do? There's too many cubes.
Yeah,
I have a comp on Saturday. I just got 3 cubes the other day. When I was traveling, I was like, I kind of want to try this Gan, but like this Moyu is probably more consistent. And I'm like, there's too much going on. They need to stop releasing cubes. It's stressing me out.
I love it.
Like, you love it? I don't know.
I love it.
I think
I was in a similar boat as you before All Stars and everything. I was between like the V5, standard V11, transparent V11, Super V2 transparent, even like normal Super V2. Now I've got the Super Oolong. Now I've got like some other custom V11s. The Super Oolong is what I think I've decided on. It's
this
really,
is all
really...
Moyu as well. Like
yeah,
that's
these
all
are
one
only
brand.
Moyus. yeah. But I get them for free. They kind of just show up at my doorstep one day, and I'm like, oh, new cube, cool. And then I just run with it probably. So, but yeah, we were speaking of accolades. There was an accolade that someone got that had some controversy to it.
What a segue! Good work.
Yes. And
both 2 accolades.
And there was 2 accolades actually that had some controversy, but there was one that seemed eerily deja vu-esque, you could say.
Wee.
Yeah, Yiheng 2x2 WR, but obviously sliding accusations.
All right, if you want coaching from me, Chris Mills, I'm also a speed cubing coach. You can head over to millscubing.com. My prices are currently 16 New Zealand dollars for an hour session. That's about 34 US dollars. Prices are going up soon because Sydney is expensive. So get it cheap while you can, and I'll see you there. Yes.
We're going to take a look at it here, but yeah, the frame counts immediately came out after Yiheng got this result. It's 0.83. Wait. 0.81.
The record's 0.83.
Yeah, 0.83. Right? Yeah, he just got 0.83. And apparently, we were watching this beforehand. You saw that 0.6 and you said that looked like a 0.8. And you were bang on, dude. the frame counts are saying that the sliding in this is worse than 0.78.
Oh my goodness.
And it's really interesting because you can kind of look, at Yiheng's results. You said the mean of 4 rounds at this comp was sub 1 for him. But prior to this competition, he was not getting any real sub 1 averages. And then randomly now he just gets a comp where the mean of that is sub 1. So that kind of tells me that he turned on slide mode for this competition to get these results. Do you have any thoughts on this? Like, what do you think the fallout of this is going to be?
I don't know. It sucks. Like, the situation sucks. Okay, because I don't want to hate on. Obviously, I don't want to hate on Yiheng because he's a kid and he's trying to break records, and he's put in a point where 2x2. Like, the difference between the top level solvers is almost decided by how well they start the timer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a guy in Australia, Roman Rudakov. He's the oceanic record holder. He does, quote unquote, like perfect timer starts. Like how the delegate would want you to do it, like with your fingertips and all of that, and perfect timer stops. And he's nerfing himself by like 0.1 by doing that.
True.
And at this top level, there's such a minuscule difference between these top competitors. It's almost like whoever starts pushes the regulations to the limit is going to have the world record. So don't hate the player, hate the game, right? But obviously he is sliding in this. It's not just like pushing the timer starts. This is sliding. But it's very hard. Like if you're a top competitor and you're focused and you're trying to get these timer starts that are quick and You're picking up the puzzle quick, so you're not losing time. It's hard to distinguish yourself between sliding and starting like optimally, you know?
Yeah.
And this is what 4-pad solves. 4-pad makes you start optimally, but no sliding. You can't slide with 4-pad. It's just not possible. And I think if you put Yiheng with like 4-pad and he's used to it, like his timer starts would look very similar to someone like Roman Rudakov. Like Roman Rudakov is basically already doing 4-pad. So his times would likely not slow down if they switched. But look, I don't know, because like say this average just isn't filmed, you know, like that's a very rare occasion because it's Yiheng Wang. Of course, people are going to be filming him.
20 cameras on, bro.
But if it's just not filmed, like this record's not going to stand. We almost know for certain that there's going to be a bunch of +2s on this record because that's in the regs now. They're allowed to frame by frame count it. We know that sliding's going on. So this will likely never get on the WCA, or if it does, it will get removed very quickly. But like, yeah, say it wasn't filmed and this is just the world record now, and now whoever like Sujun Feist or Zain Kanani is pushed to push their timer starts and stops to the limit to try and beat this. Like, I know it's just 2x2, but there's a point where this will be a problem in 3x3 as well. Like I don't know. It's just, please, we need something to happen now. It's too much of a problem. I would hate to be a top level 2x2 solver right now and put in the position where I almost need to be like kind of sliding if I want to be breaking records. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and we're talking about implementing 4-pad, and I've heard from a lot of like WCA internal staff in discussions on this, and they're like, well, we can't switch to 4-pad. We're gonna have the stack mat monopoly. And there's a very apt meme I saw on Twitter right here. WCA 4-pad mode. They're avoiding the monopoly, but they're just doing the speed stacks monopoly, but with 2-pad. I will give them some credit. I think in the regs they've allowed the ability for other timers to potentially be used going forward.
Yeah, they've opened the door, but they've not gone through it yet. Like,
yeah,
it's a
so
possibility.
It is possible that we could avoid the speed stacks monopoly, but like, are we really gonna do that? I mean, maybe executive director could come in and be like, we got to whip these guys in shape. I don't know, but I do think 4-pad solves all of our problems. However, speed stacks does have a patent on the 4-pad starts for electrocapacitive timers until like 2036. So if we do lock ourselves into 4-pad regulations wise, then yes, we are stuck with stack mat. And I don't know. In my head, whatever. I think the integrity of the results is by far the most important thing in the WCA. Not that all the results have a lot of integrity. There are plenty of people who have gotten really good results that did not record them, and they are quite dubious. But that's neither here nor there. So I mean, I do want to admit this is kind of a silly pipe dream I've had, but I was talking to some people about like when the sliding thing was initially going on. The speed stacks patent is specifically on 4-pad timer with electrocapacitive starting mechanism. Okay. You could use a mechanical mechanism like a mouse clicker as like the start, and you could do that with 4-pad, and that would bypass the patent. That's kind of my pipe dream here a little bit. Is that like we kind of just get a loophole around the speed stacks patent. We make our own WCA 4-pad timer that's like mouse clicker switches or whatever, and then we get
like
the best of both worlds.
Like a weighted
yeah
thing.
Yeah, like a pressure sensor or something, like either of
pressure
those.
Player, bro, get some
like Minecraft.
Yeah.
We'll build it with redstone.
Yeah.
Something like that I think is also an avenue forward. But I'm sick and tired of having this freaking conversation. I feel like the conversation around this has happened a million times, and like this is where an executive director could come in and be like, nope, we are doing this. They are going to come in, and obviously they're going to talk to the board, but I just want some action that is going to prevent this from happening again, because I'm tired of everyone getting pissed off about it and having to rehash this a million times, because we know it's illegal, but what are we really going to do about it?
Yeah. Like what I was thinking the other day, I was chatting to some mates about it, and like this is like, there's like two big problems in the WCA right now. We got this, and then we've got like the miss scramble problem. Okay. I just want to see like somebody in the WCA, say the board, that you get the board, and then you get like team leaders and key players throughout the community, and you just get in a big old Zoom call, and you're just like, all right, today we're solving this problem. And you just solve the problem. Okay? You just spend the whole day having some discussions, and you just solve it. Like, it
Just
can't
solve it,
be
dude.
that hard. Just solve the problem.
Just solve the problem.
Yeah. Like, just like get everybody who might have good opinions or thoughts on it in a call, and then you just have a big old debate, and surely you can come to a solution in like a day. Right? It can't be that hard, right? Or am I just like a little bit delusional here?
I think you're a little delusional, dude. Look at our freaking U.S. government. It's this, and we've been shut down for 30 days. Like, what? No, just solve it. Literally, dude. Like, no, I don't think we just solve it. I think throwing all these people in the room, like, everyone's getting chewed out by another one. Like, everyone's talking over each other. No matter how democratic you make the process, like, it is cooked. It is cooked beyond belief. We need to elect an authoritarian person who can come in, lead us in an adequate manner, but in a positive direction forward. But I'm tired of all this discussion, all this bureaucracy. Like, nah, I'm gonna put my faith in one person, and then if they mess up, I'll blame them.
It's kind of like, my thought is like if you've got like two kids, like siblings, and they're having beef, you just like put them in a room, and you're like, you figure this out. Come back to me when you figure this out. Just like put everybody in a room and like lock the door and be like, you can come out when you solve this problem.
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like that has worked before, but I don't think it's the way. I don't think it's the way. I think most of the times that ends up with like both the kids just beating each other up, and then they just get it out, and then they open the door and they're like, we're fine now. Like, we squashed it. And then, but I'm tired of the infighting in the WCA. I don't want to see more of it. Like I said, entrusting it to one person who can be like the one making the final decisions. They have the say. Just make sure that the election process or selection process is doing its job. We trust this person to make the right decisions. That's totally good.
Yeah, that's fair. As long as they still come up with the right decision. If they came up with the wrong decision, then that was a bad idea.
But the thing is, like, if it's one person, then they get backlash. It's one person. They can just be like, oh, bet, I'll walk it back. And now let's do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather there be more action that is not necessarily the right one if it eventually leads to the right decision happening quicker. Like, I'm like, yeah. I if someone comes in and they just start making a bunch of moves, like, I would rather see that than just like things staying the way they are, because we've had these problems for years and years and years, and nothing's really happened. So I'd rather them just throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and then eventually they'll get it right.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that, and that's probably where we'll pin it there. Obviously, this has been like an ongoing discussion. I feel like we've brought it up multiple times. Another thing which I don't think we've mentioned is, if we go way back to our first episode, we were talking about Anthony Stoyak. Hashtag Anti-Stoyak is my world champion. The appeal that they made to the appeals committee came back, and they like denied the appeal. So he is still not the world champion. Breaks my heart for old Anthony. Does not deserve this. Another big problem that needs to be solved. I don't know. I don't think we're going to touch on that again, but just shout out Anthony Stoyak. Hashtag he is my world champion. We stand with Anthony Stoyak at the Millisecond podcast. Just so you know, I just want to put the statement right here. We stand with Anthony Stoyak.
We do. I back this.
But we mentioned that there was two controversial accolades this weekend, and the other one is Megaminx WR by Ziyu Wu. So I believe he got it last weekend. He got like a low 25 average. And this weekend, he got 24.8 WR average. And in the next round, he got 24.7. But the very last solve of his 24.7 second average is quite odd. Dylan, do you want to like explain what kind of happened here?
Yeah, you might have seen it at the very beginning of this clip here, but he's on pace to get like a sub 24. If he stops the timer, like, as you would expect most people to stop the timer, he gets a sub 24. What he does is he slows down on the last few turns slowly puts the cube on the mat, and then hovers his hands over the timer for around a second, and then stops right here, 25.3.
Yeah.
This is like the opposite of Yihang. He's losing time on his watch on purpose. You know what I mean? So me and Mills were trying to figure out why we think this was happening. And my initial idea was that, cube companies have bounties for certain results to get, if you get this result with my cube, we'll give you X amount of money. Okay. So I've immediately assumed the GAN Megaminx, most popular Megaminx that most people use. Some people use the Dian. Some people use the Yoo-Hoo. Shout out. But yeah, and so I was thinking, okay, well, he's just trying to farm to get as much money as he can from these bounties, because from my understanding, Ziyu is a homeschooled cuber in China, and he cubes pretty much all day, every day. And so we know he's really good at Megaminx. He uses interesting method, whatever. But if he was using again Megaminx, for world record average, he would get roughly around 700 USD for each instance that he did this. There is a hard cap for non-GAN sponsors, and he's a Qi sponsor according to like his jacket that he's wearing or whatever. So he wouldn't be eligible for the full amount that he's possibly able to get. But then we see he's not even using a GAN Megaminx. He's using a Dian Megaminx. And then we're like, okay, well, what's the bounty for the Dian company? The Dian company doesn't exist, dude. There's no website. Their last Instagram post is from 2014. I don't even think they ever did bounties except maybe in like 2015 or something. So we are just at a loss of why this man would possibly be intentionally farming WRs. Do you have what's your leading theory after all of these thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few ideas. Firstly, shout out Ziyu, like he's a crazy solver, and shout out homeschooling. I was homeschooled, so shout out homeschool. But he's crazy, and he's got crazy fast times, and we're thinking surely there's like a financial incentive to this.
Yes,
maybe there's some sort of bounty in China we don't know about. Maybe there's some sort of like school, like cubing school thing where you get a bonus if you're like from a school and get records while being taught by that school or by a coach. Maybe he's a coach, or I don't know, like there could be some things here. Maybe he's just doing it for aura. Like maybe he's just aura farming and being like, look,
that's a possibility.
I could do this. I could take a second and a half to stop the timer and still get WR. But it's also odd because, like, he set a WR earlier that day, and then if you set, like, 2 WRs in one day, it only counts as 1. So if he stopped the timer properly, he would have broken his WR by about half a second. It would be about, I think, a 24.2 or 24.3 average. So it looks like he just wanted to, like, improve his WR, but then still make it easy for him to beat. I really don't know. For as far as we know, Dian don't have any sort of bounties. I've never heard of a Dian bounty. I've only heard of like Gan, Mo Yu, Dian Sheng. I don't even know if I've seen Qi with a bounty before.
YJ, I think, had some for Megaminx.
Yeah, well. YJ might have had some. Maybe there's just like an incentive from Qi, like whenever he just gets a WR wearing their jacket, like not necessarily using their cubes, he gets some sort of bonus. Yeah, we really don't know. But it does like beg the question, like, should this be allowed? Is this a quote unquote intentionally poor result? There's like a regulation in the WCA, I think it's 2K, 26K or 2K6 or something, where it says competitors should not compete with the intention of a poor result. But then there's a clarification where it's like delegate discretion, and they should only like DNF or something if that poor result was at like a severe detriment to the competition, like wasting time on the schedule. And this is like a second. So within the regulations as of now, it's not against the regulations to do this as far as I know. But it's also just like against the spirit of the game, you know? Like, do we allow
do we allow it? Do we
like
allow
obviously
it?
This record is going to stand. Like that's not a problem. Like there's nothing in the regs which should say that this should be DNF'd. But it is questionable behavior just from like a sportsmanship standpoint. But then if we look at other sports, we've got like what's his name? Mondo Duplantis, who just like farming pole vaulting records. He's just doing like 1 centimeter at a time. And whenever you see him break a record, he's like this far above the bar. Yeah. And you're like, mate, like push it a bit more. But he gets a bounty every time he breaks that world record. So yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on like the sportsmanship aspect of this?
I think from a sportsmanship perspective, it's a little lame. It is also kind of aura to be like, I'm so good. Like, I don't even need, I am intentionally throwing. For me, I'm obviously super biased, but I think in whatever avenue you can, I'm almost positive there has to be some financial incentive here. If not, like the only other thing I could think of was like, cubing in China is used to like get into a better school or something. So maybe he could say like, I'm X time world record holder instead of like, whatever time world record holder. And then maybe there's a better chance of him getting into a better school or something. I don't know. But in my head, financial incentive, he is a homeschooled cuber. Like he is well within his right to, if you're investing this much time into cubing, we've talked about it. I mean, maybe, I don't know if you and me have, but like, there's not that much money in it, right? So get your bag however you can, King. I don't care. Obviously, he's good enough to eventually break this world record at some point in the future. I think it's a little lame, but like you said, plenty of other sports do this. Plenty of other neat speed runners have done this too. If there's bounties, like I don't know, it's just a part of the game. I mean, we talked about like this is something that could happen in cubing. It's not amazing. Like obviously, I'd love to see a sub 24 as quickly as possible, but if this guy wouldn't keep cubing, if he didn't get this money, then like we would see the sub 24 maybe even later on. You get what I mean? So whatever keeps him around, whatever keeps the game going, like I'm all for it. And like the cube companies, whether that be Chi giving him money for exposure or bounties potentially from Diane, or maybe potentially when he switches to Gan or something, I don't know. But anything like that, do what you got to do to get the money. I'm all for the bag. Respect.
Yeah, no, I think I agree there. Like with so little money in cubing and especially in Megaminx, I've never really heard of anybody making money with Megaminx. It makes sense.
It was the lowest bounty in the GAN hierarchy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But yeah. I don't know. This is a puzzle. I would love to solve this puzzle. It would be great to get like a statement from Ziyu Wu and release it on the Millisecond.
An exclusive interview with Ziyu Wu.
Why did he throw? Yeah. But no, I mean, shout out. I'm interested to see the next time I don't know when he next competes or when he next competes in Megaminx, but it'll be interesting to see if he like breaks it again by like 0.1 or whatever. And he's also nerfing himself by using a weird last layer method. I don't know much about it, but I know it's a bit peculiar. And he
reduces like gets down to like corners or something.
Yeah, something odd. But it obviously seems to work for him. And I guess Megaminx is like, there's not too much competition at the top level, so you don't have to be like doing the absolute optimal thing to be the fastest in the world. I remember, I think there was like an interview with one Pablo a few years ago, and he was like 25 on Mega is like a 5 on 3x3, and everyone's like, nah, that's crazy. And now we're watching this and we're like, you know what, maybe he's right. Maybe a 25 on Mega is like a 5 on 3x3. It's just no one has really pushed Megaminx that much before. But shout out Megaminx. I think it's a really fun event. I haven't practiced much recently.
You should.
I did a little bit of a side quest a few years ago and got sub 40 average, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm hanging it up now. I'm going back.
Watching ZU made me practice before the set, by the way. We ran a little late because I was
yeah, we were not locked in. You were locked in on Mega instead of deciding what we're going to talk about in this podcast.
It's a good event, dude. It's a good event. But yeah, the last thing on our docket that we had here was this happened last weekend. Greiser and I didn't talk about it because we were, I guess, in our feelings. But Monkey League, Jiaokun is Xuanyi, absolute banger of a match. Probably the best match we've had this season. Mills, what do you think?
Yeah, no, a really cool match. I actually didn't watch this until recently. I think I put it on the TV in the Airbnb in Samoa. But absolute crazy match. both really fast cubers. Obviously, going into this match, we're thinking Zhuan Yi Gang, of course he's going to win. He's the second fastest speed cuber in the world. He is locked in. We rarely see him falter under the pressure. Li Jiaokun did really well in the qualifier, but he's kind of an unknown entity. Like, he has a sub 5 average in comp. I think he has a couple now, but we don't see him compete much. We don't know much about him. He's competed like maybe a dozen times or something. He's really not competed much at all. How is he gonna handle the pressure in Monkey League? But I think he really like kind of surprised me. He had some crazy good solves.
Yeah.
And this match was like so back and forwards. Like, just look at this, like a pretty standard looking 4.7. I think his solving looks kind of similar to like Du Yufang.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Li Jiaokun is color neutral, which is so rare to see for these like young Chinese competitors. So I think that's really cool to see a color neutral solver nowadays, like a new color neutral solver. But yeah, well, what are your thoughts?
Well, on the note of color neutral solvers, I have a client that is from China who now is like doing school in Canada, and he was telling me that like there's actually a lot of CN Chinese solvers coming out the woodwork, and the new gen. Apparently, they're evolving, dude. They're doing CN now, but yeah, I was really, obviously I know Jiaokun is a very, very competent solver, but I was surprised just like his F2Ls on some of these were insane. There's a 3.9 that 3.9 that he gets here. He gets F2L done at 1.7. And that wasn't just like a one-time thing. Like, most of these F2Ls are like 2 flat, 2 maybe, and he just cooks it up. Like, it's insane. I was really, really happy with this. Zhuan Yi slightly underperformed, I would say, to his standards. And Jiaokun had him like on the back foot, by the way. Like,
he had three match points. Three match points. So he was 2-2 in the previous set, and then he was 2-0 in this set. I think the previous set was where he had the best opportunity to win. Because it was 2-2. Oh, actually, no, maybe not. But it was 2-2. I think he solved first and then got a 7. And then this time he's 2-0. And it's like he's doing his best. He's getting 4s. But Zhuan Yi is just like, nah, I ain't losing. Yeah. Zhuan Yi basically just decided here he was not losing, and he came back at the very end of this match. Like, Jiaokun there, he got a 4.8, and we're like, maybe that's good enough. It was not good enough. Here, you start to see him kind of getting a bit nervous, like a big lockup in the OLL there. You can see the pressure of getting close to beating the second fastest speed cuber in the world. And like, maybe he just saw, he got attached, you know, we talked about that before. He probably got attached to the idea of winning, because going into this match, like, I'm sure he was thinking, all right, I'm just going to try my best. I think it's unlikely I beat Zhuan Yi. And then he got so close. But then just look at Zhuan Yi do Zhuan Yi things, you know, 4.2 with, what was that, an HZB, not an easy case. And like, what do you do in this position when you're against Zhuan Yi just popping off?
You try your best. you hope that he loses, right? There was a lot of instances in this match where it looks like Jiaokun, I think it was like solve 1. Zhuan Yi starts off with a 4-6. I reacted to this on stream, and then Jiaokun 460, and Zhuan Yi got a 464, and then he kind of like reacts like fist bumps, but there's a lot of times where he just like won randomly, and he was like, how did that happen? And then that very last solve there, so Zhuan Yi's serving for the match. And he got a 4-0. GG. 404. Like, what do you do here? I don't know if he was looking at the times. I'm actually not quite sure. But he obviously just tried to go all out here and didn't work out. Honestly, devastating to kind of watch Jiaokun kind of choke towards the end of the match. But right there, it's almost like, what do you do? Like, Zhuan Yi's last 3 solves, so when he was 2-0 down in that final set, 4.6, 4.2, 4.0. Like, that's, you just can't really do much against that. So mad respect to Li Jiaokun for putting up like a proper fight against Zhuan Yi. He's like proving that he is
close to that top tier of Chinese solving. And obviously, top tier of Chinese solving means top tier in the world.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing him go against like Timon. I think that will be a good close match. Yufeng as well. That would be a good match against Garrett and Matty. Like, I want to see these matches. I don't know when the next Monkey League match is. I don't think there's any schedule at the moment because I believe Philip is traveling at the moment. So a little bit of a delay for the next matches. But I am so excited. I just want to watch all the matches right now.
Dude, I agree. I'm really excited. It's nice to have Monkey League back. It's always so entertaining, and like I think maybe the first few matches there wasn't really that many sparks, but this I think is indicative of what we have to come especially as things start heating up in the playoffs. Shoot,
yeah.
Oh man, the watch parties are gonna go crazy.
I know, man. And like, remember the final for Monkey League, which will be next year, is going to be in person. Yeah. Imagine watching this level of match in person. People have thrown down like low fours and losing. I want to be there. I don't know if I'm going to be there, but I want to get myself there to that final because that's going to be so exciting. But I think that's basically it for Monkey League. For whatever we've got on at the moment. I believe there was a Ruhang Theodore match. Ruhang just kind of crushed.
Yeah. Kind of expected that, unfortunately, but
kind of expected, yeah. Theodore obviously new to Monkey League, wasn't able to do that well. But he actually Theodore got a 561 median and Ruhang only got a 538 median, but just won 3-0. So actually closer than I thought. So, shout out Theodore. He's still got a chance. He's obviously one of the slower competitors who made it into Monkey League, but he's not slow.
No. And then one last shout out. We're talking about these Chinese solvers. My GOAT, Hansen Yu, 12th in the world average, 5 flat, WPA, unfortunately, but that's my GOAT. I predicted Hansen Yu was going to be good. After I saw his profile leading up to Asian Champs 2024, you can clip it. It has been clipped. It is video evidence. I said this. He got 5th at Asians, and now he's still improving. He's sub me now. I didn't really anticipate that outcome, actually. I should have. He's good and a Chinese child, so I should have seen that coming. But yeah, 5 flat. I fully expect him to break into like that upper echelon. If you don't know Hansen Yu, freaking learn the name, dude. If you don't know Yang Ming Wang, learn the name, dude. All of these Chinese solvers are way better than your favorite NA cuber, like by far. Like, yeah. If you don't know their name, it's fine. But yeah, Hansen Yu, shout out the GOAT. He has a little bow tie in his WCA profile picture. I think he was like 5 or 6 when they took that picture. Maybe 6 or 7.
All right. I think we're gonna move on to the inspection segment. We asked a couple weeks ago for some submissions from some cubers earlier in their speed cubing career, so we could kind of broaden our range of solves we've analyzed. Scrambling in the wrong orientation. That is interesting.
I do the same. It's okay, Theo.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Inspecting with one hand. Ooh, couple rotations in the cross.
Bit of a pause here.
Ooh, Ooh,
rotations.
Rotations for days.
Yeah,
be spinning that cube like a globe.
Sub 20 though. Sub 20.
Sub 20. Okay.
We're only gonna check out that one. Yeah. What were your takeaways from that?
I think the efficiency of the moves he did, like the move count, was pretty good. Like, that was quite an efficient solve for a sub 20. Obviously, 2-look OLL, but around that sort of stage, like, you want to start moving towards learning full OLL, but it's not like you need to know it right now. Like, you can get like close to like, so you can get sub 15. Like, you could get really fast with 2-look OLL, but you shouldn't. You should learn it as soon as possible. Yeah. But yeah, like the F2L efficiency move wise was good, but for every like 3 moves he did a rotation.
Yeah.
And I think that was that was the weakness in this solve, just from my quick takeaway.
Yeah, the rotations also don't help to look ahead, right? If you're going to be moving the pieces that you're trying to find around a lot, like in space, then yeah, obviously it's a lot harder to find those pieces. You're going to be pausing, and between pretty much every single pair, there was a reasonably sized pause. And I mean, yeah, the biggest way that I teach people to avoid rotations, like here on these last two pairs, both these edges are good from the position he had it at initially, and then he does a Y2 because the edge was good, rotates, now it's bad, rotates again, now it's good. And then instead of just doing the last pair, he rotates twice back again. So learning EO, he could have saved like 4 rotations on last 2 pairs, which is huge.
Yeah.
He seems capable of like solving pairs into the back. We see him do this for like this blue orange right here, but then everything else he kind of just wants to solve into the front. So try to be more comfortable solving things into the back. Learn how to recognize EO.
Yeah. So when Dylan says good edge, that means that the edge is oriented, and that's oriented in F2L. So we're not talking about OLL here. And when you have an oriented F2L edge, you can always solve it with R, U, and L moves. You don't need to be doing F moves. You don't need to be rotating, doing any sort of weird B moves. You can solve it IUL. There's a few cases where you might want to use a sledge to solve it or something like that, but that's a rarity. So what we saw him do a couple of times here is he like did a rotation because he didn't like know what he was going to do, and then in doing that rotation, he misoriented an edge, which then means he would either have to rotate or do like weird F moves to solve that afterwards. So I think a part of the problem is a lack of look ahead, forcing him to rotate to try and spot more things. But if you're ever in that position and you don't know what to do next, don't just rotate for the sake of rotating to try and find more. Take the pause. Like if you have to, just accept that you're going to have a pause in that solve and figure out the best thing to do. Because a rotation, if you see that the edge is misoriented and a rotation is going to orient it, then great. But if you have no idea what's going on, don't just rotate for the sake of trying to find a piece. But that's a whole concept that is really great to grasp. I feel like that's, at least in the West, that's something that we've been trying to push a better understanding of, is oriented edges in F2L. Because like if you watch like your average like 10, 11 second solver at competitions, like that's the big thing they don't have a grasp of. They just kind of hope that the F2L pairs just kind of come in a good order and stuff. But a good understanding of EO helps with look ahead, helps with reducing rotations, and helps with efficiency. So I think you're bang on the nail there.
This is the situation that Theo had on his cross here. So we have these 3 edges relative to each other, and then we have this red edge. What he opted to do was rotate and then do U prime R2D, okay, to align this from here. Now, there's a way we can do this by avoiding the rotation, and the tip that I want you to think about is we can either use the U layer to set up this edge, or we can misalign the D layer to then put this edge in using this open slot. So we can either put our red edge with a U prime here, and then a B2 would solve it relative. So that's bringing the edge to the open slot, or we can put the open slot under where the edge currently exists here. So that would be D prime R2 D2. I would probably opt for the latter because it's going to have no B moves. It's DR gen, so that's generally going to be a little bit cleaner. But to get more efficient crosses and just to avoid rotations in general, be comfortable with both of these ways of solving edges in your cross solutions.
All right. We are now on, what's this, race 7? Because it's episode 8, but you guys didn't do a race last week. Maybe I should have got Greiser to race for me, because then
I was going to say, that was probably your best bet.
This is the current score, 6-0. I have not solved today. I wasn't even sure what cube I was going to use for this race. I was trying to figure it out. I do not think this is going to go well, but we're going to give it a go. All right. Oh, shoot. I got a 9.
I got a 5.
No. Bro, that scramble was was cheeks.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I mispredicted first pair.
I didn't even find first pair.
Yeah, well, you're
Oh,
CN,
no.
bro. Come on, no excuses.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say, if I lost this one, I was gonna let you win the next 6, so that way the score would be 6-7. No, my jokes aren't appreciated in this economy.
Well, maybe if I win the next 6, we just have to swap sides. No, this race thing, I want to cut out this segment at this point, Dylan. Like, it's just getting embarrassing. I feel like next time, you're just not allowed to solve. I get all the warm-up time. We got to change the recording time so it works in my favor. I'm going to spend the whole day, but then I'm going to spend the whole day practicing and like still get a 9. And that might be even worse.
Then you're going to get
at least now I have an excuse. I could just be like, yeah, I haven't solved today. Just
solve it, dude. Just solve it.
Just solve it, bro. Now I'm getting trolled. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I don't even know what's coming up this week. Wait, I have a competition this weekend. Do you have a competition this weekend?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. But I have a competition this weekend. We'll see how that goes. It's just my last Auckland competition. And then I move to Sydney. I'm moving to Sydney this Sunday. So the next time we record this, I'll be in Sydney. So we'll have a new setup. I hope I can set up something. I have no idea what that's going to look like. It might be a little bit scrappy. But next week when we record, I'll be in Sydney. That's crazy.
That was wild.
Keep sending us solve submissions.
Please.
If you send us a video and scramble and a reconstruction, your chance of getting picked to be featured is higher. Just so you know,
way up.
Your chances go way up. And also, if you get our coaching and are like somebody we've coached before, maybe your chances go up too because you've paid us. Like, it's kind of like bribery, I guess. Anyway,
it's an exchange of goods and services. It's normal.
Yeah,
but I was glad to have you back on the episode this week, Mills. It really warms my heart. It does.
Oh, thank you, Dylan.
And you're not.
It's good to be back
anymore.
Oh yes.
Yippee!
Yippee! Wee! All right, I think we're gonna finish the episode there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. And cube up.
Cube up.